My aunt and cousin accused my father and brother of theft. I'm calling them out.
What we be stealing, guys?
I, 22 female, have 2 aunts on my dad's side of the family, and they both have their own issues. The one I am talking about is the oldest. Dad is the youngest out of all of them. According to him, they'd both bully him and get him in trouble with his parents, and I can see that it is continuing into adulthood. By the way, this comes from user The Writing Honeybee, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my aunt Sarah, 66 female, is the main protagonist of the story, along with my cousin Aaron, 44 female. All of this started after my grandfather passed away mid-2022. Before this, no one really had issues with each other, and we all seemed united to be with him and my grandmother, 82 female. This all started because of some silver coins no one in my immediate family remember my grandmother ever having. Okay, keep that in mind.
Okay.
My grandmother thought they were stolen or became misplaced, and from what I can gather, Aaron and I started saying it was probably my brother Jake, 19 male, or my father Tony, 62 male. Why would you jump to that conclusion? It was them. Sarah had also started agreeing with Aaron and only made the rumors worse. Before we, yeah, I don't like this. You're already spreading rumors. You didn't confront the people. You just started saying, hey, it was either my brother or my dad.
Yeah. Instead of gathering evidence, just accusing.
Always gather evidence before you do something.
In this case, I know it's all family. If you have someone in the family that like steals stuff, I mean, you probably still shouldn't accuse them. But you can probably be like, all right, it might be this person.
Yeah.
But they don't have a history of that, do they?
We're going to find out. I hope not, but always gather the evidence first. I didn't realize how bad it was until I went to help my grandmother with the garage sale over the summer. At this garage sale, Sarah and Aaron did not hide their snide remarks and side comments about Jake and Tony being thieves and stealing from my grandmother. My grandfather's stuff was left both to Tony and my grandmother, who wanted help selling his things.
Dude, this was like Clue or like a Scooby-Doo.
That's what I was gonna say.
Kind of thing.
Like it's like you're just jumping.
I'm like, who would benefit the most from these coins?
And you know what's funny? I guarantee you, Jake and Tony are gonna be like, we didn't steal them. They stole them.
Ooh.
Is that my ICU?
That's his ICU.
Or my conspiracy theory? Or both? Conspiracy ICU.
There we go.
Tony put some of my grandfather's fishing poles and a crossbow to sell. Erin got mad because she thought maybe her kids would want some of the fishing poles. I personally don't remember the last time they've actually fished or went outside for that matter, but okay, get mad about it. I told Tony about this, and he said if she wants any of them, to give them to her. I came back the next day, and she had bought 2 of them before I could tell her to just take the 2. She had made comments about how it was the only way they'd get something off their great-grandfathers. I told her I can give her the money back because I was the one in charge of all the money, which I believe Erin and Sarah had issues with, but she declined and said it was going to our grandmother regardless. I thought that it was all over, then Sarah came prancing over and started her spiel about religion and other things before walking past me to check to make sure no one took any of her things and everything was accounted for. I wouldn't have thought anything about it if she didn't make a snide remark the night we set up about some people in the family having sticky fingers. It wasn't the only remark she's made about my brother or father, but when she started talking crap about me, I saw red. So they just like to spread rumors.
Yeah, I've seen this happen many a time in the small town that I come from, just like bickering and spreading rumors just to have something to talk about. It's kind of sad.
You're just bored.
Yeah.
I don't like people like that. My college degree is going to be in creative writing, and she made a comment after I told her she'd have to write down prices, and I said, I know. I didn't go to college to know how to do that. Just common sense. She wouldn't know common sense if it smacked her in the face 20 times, but go off. Sarah had told me she took college classes, and I told this to my father, and he said, and dropped out of them, which isn't surprising considering her daughter did the same thing and left her with all the debt. She was also talking about how trans people shouldn't exist. No, that's bad. Shouldn't exist, which prompted me to tell her off and scream, I'm a lesbian in front of everyone that was in the garage. She shut up and still continued to make her comments about my brother and father and really didn't hide them at all.
Okay, she definitely came from my hometown. This lady. Goodness gracious.
Who is this?
But that doesn't make any sense. It just feels like she's just trying to get a rise out of OP at this point.
I think she likes the drama.
Yeah.
There were times she spoke about people being evil and something happening that broke my grandmother's heart, like she and Aaron didn't fabricate the entire story because of jealousy. Anytime some of my grandmothers would sell, Sarah would walk over and watch me count the change, write down the price, and hand the change back to the person. Why? Aaron had told me I needed to get an attitude like her, and I'm just like, I have one, but out of respect decide to not show it in front of a family. That is effing changing because I am done. I had gone back to college the week after, and I heard nothing about their shenanigans until I came home for Thanksgiving break, where I was told by Jake that her, Aaron's son, 15 male was spreading rumors around the high school to brothers' friends about Jake and Tony being thieves. This is when I started getting mad again, because you can have issues with the adults in the family, but leave your dang kids out of it.
Runs of the family. Just goes right down the line.
My mom, Patty, 52 female, and I went to dinner, and Tony and Jake stayed home. They didn't want to go because of all the crap happening, and they didn't feel welcomed in the slightest. Everything seemed normal until today, December 23rd. My mom called my grandmother to ask when dinner was for Christmas Eve, and I walked in while they were still on the phone. My grandmother told her, and Patty said everyone would be there. This then prompted my grandmother to say, I don't want Jake in my house. I don't trust him. My mom asked why, and she explained, Sarah saw him enter my house during the summer while I wasn't there. She was insinuating that Jake stole the coins.
Dude, just go no contact with this woman. Like, what the heck?
I just want to say, where's the proof in all of this?
Oh, he answered over the summer one time. There's your proof. Isn't that enough?
Her word is better than your word. Grandma's, I mean, it just little snakes here.
Yeah.
Jake has a copy of her house keys, as does Patty and Tony. He went in there because she let him store deer meat in her freezer, and he wanted to make deer jerky. He's done it many times before, and she's never had an issue with it. Which I do get, going into someone's house without permission is a big no, but to basically use that as proof of them stealing the coins is a bit off. Like I said, I also question where their actual proof is, and if they have a video or other ways of proving their allegations to be factual, and not made up BS because of their own jealousy of a 19-year-old that's helped out his grandmother more than any of the grandkids, including me, combined since he was 6. My grandmother also told Tony something similar to that today, when he stopped out there and he didn't know the full context until Patty and me explained it to him. Tony, Patty, and Jake are not going out there tomorrow, but I am. I know my grandmother isn't this awful person that she's been recently. I know she's like this because of Aaron and Sarah getting in her head and telling her these lies, and I'm tired of it. I don't want to ruin the relationship I have with my grandmother because she's the only grandparent I have left. But it's hard to watch them manipulate her like this and continue to get away with it. I love her and wish they weren't doing this crap. I just know confronting Sarah and Aaron tomorrow might cause even more issues. But I'm so effing tired of it because my brother and father didn't do what they've been accused of. The only reason why they both aren't coming to my father about this is because they're afraid of him. Would I be the a-hole if I confronted them for saying this crap in front of my grandmother, who's already upset because of their lies? I don't want to lose her, but I also can't sit here and watch them do all this. I will update y'all as soon as I can, but I could use any advice.
OP, I'll just be for real. I've been a part of, not really a part of, but I've seen a few family explosions happen, and you know what the best thing to do is? Stay out of it. I say stay out of it. I say just let it go. Say your piece and let it go.
It's hard when, for me, if this is your only grandparent left, you want to make things as good as possible with at least that grandparent. Screw the family members spreading the rumors, but I would be like, listen, where is their proof? They're just telling you these, and I also hate that they're taking advantage of the elderly here, and making them point fingers and saying negative things about family members that they are jealous of, it seems like. So if I were OP, I would confront them and be like, why are you doing this? Why are you accusing my family? And 2, who are you to do that?
Sure. Okay, that's a good point.
And we do have an update. No confrontation happened. I'm disappointed. Not because I didn't want to, it's because Sarah didn't bother showing up. I guess she thought my dad would be out there and she'd get yelled at. What she doesn't realize is that it'll come from me when I do see her again. Christmas Eve dinner was cordial and Jake dropped me off before he went out to DoorDash. Apparently my other aunt just scoffed at him when he told her Merry Christmas, which is disgusting. They asked where he went and I told them and then had to explain what DoorDash is. By the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime.
Boom.
I'm just going to keep going into it.
Go for it.
Erin didn't say anything to me, and we were all focused on her foster kids not doing anything stupid. I went outside with them and my cousin. As far as I know, nothing else was said. My grandmother talks to me like nothing happened, and like I didn't hear her say she didn't trust my brother. She asked if Patty was mad, and I was like, yes. And she said, I can't help it. It's the truth. Sarah has another thing coming to her when I see her. I will give more updates if anything does happen. Enjoy your Christmas and happy holidays to those who don't celebrate it. And that's the end of that story. So I feel like that update wasn't really anything special. I feel like we just didn't get a confrontation or anything. I feel like, 1, OP needs to talk to grandma and clear the air. Like, OP's brother, Jake, was so close with grandma, or at least was able to go into grandma's house and just hang out for a little bit. This is very off-putting that, one, the aunt didn't go because she was scared of OP's dad, and two, they're all like, where is this bad blood coming from? Where is this petty argument coming from? It's very confusing. Someone needs to get called out immediately before more rumors spread and more happens, or
Yeah.
people start believing the lies.